We are good. Yeah, so I'm so bitterly disappointed not to be there with you today in person, sharing this fantastic Lumina learning experience. But ultimately, it's an honor and privilege to be sharing our story and journey with Lumina Sparks in Heineken UK during this case study session. My name is Pamela Dale, and I'm an organizational capability consultant in Heineken UK. I've worked for Heineken for 17 years, which sounds a very long time when I say it out loud. I've always been a learning and development specialist, and I work in a very small internal capability team, which sits within our people function. And we look after all aspects of learning and development, from functional development, behavioral, leadership, coaching, team development, and much, much more. I became an accredited Lumina Spark practitioner in 2018, and then a Lumina Emotion practitioner earlier this year. We have around 15 accredited Lumina Spark practitioners in Heineken UK, made up of our capability consultants and people function business partners as well. So why have I worked for a business for so long? It's really very simple, because of the people and the brands. Heineken is the name above the door, but we own and brew, market and sell an extensive range of other beer and cider brands. So I hopefully you will recognize some of the other brands on this picture. Put your hands up if you recognize some of these beers, ciders. Yeah, I can see from my little view a few hands going up, which is fantastic. So yeah, kind of Heineken's the name above the door, but from Foster's to John Smith's to Strongbow to Bulmers, we have really a very extensive range of beer, ciders, and we own nearly 3,000 pubs as well. My personal favorite, Via Moretti, which is our traditional Italian beer, would be going down very nicely on a day like this. So we have the fantastic brands, but that's nothing without great people. And we are very passionate about our learning and development. During my time in Heineken, we've used a lot of different psychometric tools. But in 2018, as a capability team, we actually decided that our current psychometric tool just wasn't the right fit anymore. The business loved the tool, so this wasn't about any negative feedback, but for a number of reasons, we just felt that it didn't fit with our inclusion and diversity agenda. So we were delighted when we discovered Lumina Spark, which we felt was the right fit and supported our purpose and our values as a business. So I'm just going to play a short video now, which hopefully will help you kind of see kind of why Lumina really does support us as a business.
When Gerard Heineken challenged the status quo of beer, he set in motion an adventure that's lasted for over 150 years. And our relentless will to win helped us thrive through all the twists and turns. Now, dark clouds are gathering on the horizon once again. Culture is shifting. Tastes are changing. Interests fading. All while new drinks, new flavors, and new trends try to make beer look old. But there's one challenge that stands above the rest. The world is becoming more and more divided. And when divided moves in, human connection moves out. That's why we believe in togetherness. Because divided may have the louder voices, but together's got the louder laughs. While divided looks down on people, together raises us up. Our values will guide us on the journey to bring togetherness back and to reimagine and revitalize beer. Values like our passion for our consumers and customers. Yeah, all of them. All needs, all palates, even beyond beer. All treated with empathy and understanding. Our courage to dream and pioneer. We don't just imagine, we take action. We're fearless in the face of failure. That's how we were born in Amsterdam, but raised by the world. We care for people and the planet. Green blood pumps through our green hearts. Responsibility is behind our every action, because we only succeed when the whole world thrives. And most importantly, our enjoyment of life. That spark that ignites meaningful memories and builds unbreakable bonds. These values will be our compass to defeat divided and to fulfill our purpose, to brew the joy of true togetherness, inspiring a better world. Because when the magic of joy meets the endless energy of togetherness, ordinary becomes extraordinary. It won't happen overnight, but with our relentless pursuit of purpose, we can make the world a little better. One day, one beer, one cheers at a time. We are Heineken.
So as you can see, Lumina Spark was a perfect fit for us as a business, aligning in support of our purpose of brewing the true joy of togetherness to inspire a better world. Our evergreen company strategy has a pillar around unlocking the full potential of our people by creating a deep sense of belonging through our purpose, values, and behaviors. Brew a Better World is our sustainability strategy, and one of the areas focuses on our path to an inclusive, fair, and equitable world. And we have 8 Heineken behaviors, 4 of which focus on our ability to connect and develop. And this includes our ability to champion a culture of belonging, having real conversations, and embracing learning and growth. So we felt very strongly that Lumina Learning principles were the perfect fit to our company strategy, our ambition, and our behaviors as a business. And this has also allowed us to embed Lumina Spark as an enabler for how we succeed and grow as a business. So as I said, we started our journey with Lumina Sparks in 2018, and we've really only scratched the surface of unlocking the full potential of the tool and benefits for us as a business. As I mentioned previously, there was no call from the business to change our current psychometric tool, which was being used as part of team development. So once we as a capability team, with the support of our leadership team, decided to move to Lumina Spark, we treated it as we would one of our incubator brands. So we didn't do a big launch, we didn't push it out, we didn't even communicate the change of psychometric tool. We nurtured and we protected it. And we built an internal team of around 15 Lumina Spark practitioners within the function. And we started very small with just a few teams in marketing and our digital and technology function who just happened to be asking for team development at that time. And we offered Lumina Spark as 2 introductory workshops for teams. The first workshop was to introduce them to the model, the framework, the tools, and walk them through their portraits. And the second workshop was focused on using all the tools to help the team get to know each other on a deeper level and focus really on communication and collaboration. In true incubator brand style, the word spread from team to team, function to function, and demand for Lumina Spark team sessions grew and grew throughout 2019. As a capability team and internal community of Lumina Spark practitioners, we kept it really very simple over the first year, with all the demand and pool coming very naturally from the business. When COVID struck, the demand continued to grow, and we converted those 2 workshops that were face-to-face traditionally into virtual sessions. And during this time, we also started creating our Lumina Spark toolkits. So a toolkit for our colleagues, a toolkit for our people managers, and one for our Lumina Spark practitioners. And this allowed us to simplify what was available, how to access it, and how to develop using Lumina Sparks in Heineken. As COVID started to ease, we again evolved and flexed our Lumina Spark toolkits, offering face-to-face options, virtual and also hybrid sessions, recognizing that different teams were in different places in that new COVID world. Today, we are now utilizing the full range of Lumina Spark tools, which we have very much integrated and aligned with the business needs. So our Lumina Spark toolkits very much align to our strategy and our needs of the business. So we created and packaged the Lumina Learning content to provide materials and support linked to these topics. So, for example, we have influencing skills and negotiation skills as very kind of core standard workshops on our course catalog. So what we did is we updated the content of these workshops to include Lumina Spark as a supporting framework and tool which can be put into practice. Throughout COVID, we had a real high demand for teams wanting to focus on pressure and stress. So again, we created a team session on managing pressure and stress using Lumina. And we continued to kind of create bite-sized, deep dive Lumina Spark team meeting modules, which have aligned to the different stages of team development. And at an organizational level, we included Lumina Spark as part of our talent program, with colleagues having the opportunity to have a career development coaching conversation using the Lumina Spark portrait as the basis. Our main focus at an organizational level has been aligning Lumina Spark to our inclusion and diversity agenda, which I'm going to speak about in a couple of slides. But this slide, I think, has proved really valuable in terms of helping our business understand the wider role of Lumina Spark. We were very guilty as a business of constantly looking for new models, looking for new tools, looking for new buzzwords whenever a new challenge or need arose. Whereas now our discipline is around first exploring whether or not Lumina Spark can meet those needs. And 9 times out of 10, it absolutely can. So I mentioned the different Lumina Spark toolkits that we created. For me, this was about spending a lot of time on Brand Store or Brand Folder on the Lumina Learning portal, and then creating and repackaging the content to fit the needs of our business. So absolutely a lot of stealing with pride. So a few of the highlights and things that are really working well for us. We've our introductory webinars for new starters. So when a new colleague joins the business, we get them to complete the Lumina Spark questionnaire as part of their induction. And we then ask them to sign up and attend one of our introductory webinars, which I run every other month. And this ensures that they don't miss out on that introductory experience to Lumina Spark if their team has already gone through the introductory workshops. And those new starters are then ready to actively participate in any ongoing team development activities with Lumina. I also run webinars throughout the year for both colleagues and people managers. And these are usually linked to specific topics, which are aimed to help colleagues and people managers continue their development and their knowledge of Lumina. So for example, I've just run a colleague webinar on speed reading and building rapport with Lumina, and a recent people manager webinar focused on how Lumina can support the 4 stages of team development. So all our toolkits are available on our internal iLearn system for colleagues and people managers to access and download. As a Heineken Lumina Spark practitioner group, we also spend a lot of time working with people managers to create specific and tailored team development roadmaps. So this starts with a team going through the 2 introductory Lumina Spark workshops, and then we will suggest specific bite-sized deep dive modules based on the needs of that team. So whether that be communication, managing pressure or stress, conflict, feedback, we will create a specific team development roadmap for them. And these are modules that are off the shelf, ready for the people manager or the practitioner to deliver for that team. We've also created a Spark Up playbook, which again, I adapted from another Lumina Learning resource. And this playbook contains a real wide range of 15-minute activities that people managers can include as part of their ongoing team meetings and team sessions. So we put a lot of emphasis and focus on the importance of embedding Lumina Spark into ongoing team life and team culture, rather than something they do as a one-off or twice a year. So again, as part of our Lumina Learning toolkits, we created these really fun and interactive internal fluid books. And quite simply, they're just an interactive electronic learning book. And these can provide colleagues and people managers with a guide through Lumina Spark, the benefits, and it links to all the different activities and modules we have created in support. So a really great way of just linking everything up together. Another important kind of engagement and communication tool for us has been sharing weekly posts on our internal Facebook at work. I utilize all the Lumina Learning digital assets available, as well as reminding and linking colleagues to what's available. I'll also kind of advertise any up and coming webinars that people can kind of opt into. So kind of I've given you a bit of a whistle stop tour of our journey with Lumina Spark at Heineken. So just a few kind of key learnings and insights for us. So really that really interesting dynamic of push and pull. We have never had to push Lumina Spark as a self-development or team development tool. The pull and demand very much came from the business through feedback and word of mouth. Why Lumina Spark was the right fit for us and why it continues to grow, it's because it really very much aligns to our purpose, values, behavior, and strategy. The extensive range of applications and flexibility of the model and supporting tools has really proven to be a massive advantage to us and a real big selling point as well. As you can see, we've taken full advantage of the Lumina Learning resources available, but importantly, we flex and package them to meet the needs of our colleagues, our people managers, as well as at that organizational level, and really aligning them behind our strategy and our sustainability agenda. And as a group of Heineken practitioners, we're constantly learning as a community. We're sharing through kind of quarterly and monthly sessions for not only connecting as a group, but also sharing our learnings. So the other main area I just wanted to quickly kind of highlight was around how Lumina Spark is supporting our inclusion and diversity agenda. And this plays a key role in supporting our Brew a Better World agenda. And again, we felt that Lumina Spark was that perfect fit for our ambition and our plans. So one of the Brew a Better World commitments was to train 100% of our people managers across Heineken in inclusive leadership by the end of 2023. And to do this, we created 9 Heineken inclusive practices. We currently deliver these as 75-minute virtual sessions, focusing on a different inclusive practice every other month. These are cross-functional virtual sessions with a maximum of 12 people managers and leaders per session. So we run quite a few of these every month. And running these cross-functionally has really proved a success in terms of enabling our people manager community to share their knowledge and experience as a wider business. We're currently on communicating inclusively this month, which is really kind of going down well as part of this program. So for each of these inclusive practices, we've included Lumina Spark either as a supporting tool or fundamentally as being core to the module. This again is allowing us to further embed Lumina Spark into our DNA. So you can see from the names of the inclusive practices, they do very much lend themselves to Lumina Spark, the model, the framework, and the tools, fostering a safe environment, collaborating, celebrating success, and communicating inclusively. So it's not just our colleagues that we aim to create, that we want to kind of create a deep sense of belonging. We want our brands to reflect these values as well. So I'm going to show you one of our Heineken videos, which you may recognize from being online a few years ago. It's called Open Your World. And it was an experiment which was created by a group of business psychologists and a subsequent brand campaign. So I'm just going to share that with you. So please play the VT. So as you can kind of see from that Heineken advert, we do truly believe that, you know, sharing kind of a beer, a cider, a cup of tea, drink of water, whatever that may be, you know, the importance of bringing people together and helping them connect. And as a business, we really feel that kind of Lumina Sparks as a development tool is really helping and enabling our colleagues and teams to do that. So, so as kind of sorry, I cannot be there with you. Hopefully, kind of, you should all have some beers on your table, and I'd really invite you all to take a beer. You've probably had an opportunity to connect with some new people over the course of the conference, but please get yourself a beer. Go and find someone who you haven't connected with, a stranger, and just connect over a beer. Now and kind of throughout kind of the break, which I think you're kind of going into soon, just really kind of invite you over a beer to go and to connect and enjoy that true sense of togetherness.